what kind of drifted me a little bit away from the drifters was hanging out with my cousins. And I had a cousin. He was in a DJ crew at the time, um, and so I would go to his, wherever, whatever venue he was spinning at. I would usually follow him. And so I remember they were DJing a party on a Saturday night, and so I was gonna have to stay the night at his house. And so my aunt and my uncle, his mom and dad, they have a rule that if you stay the night at their house on a Saturday night, you have to go to church with them on a Sunday morning. And so I had to follow that rule, and I had to go to church with them that Sunday morning. So I remember, waking up that morning and having going to church with him. I didn't have anything even to wear, so I'm like scrambling through his wardrobe, trying to put two things together that I would wear, and wearing some like weird button-up shirt and don't quite fit me right, and oh well, the pants are a little too stonewashed for me or something. And but I remember going and sitting there for the very first time, and I just remember the pastor just opening the Bible and not even like really preaching it, just he opened it up and he just started teaching. He just shared a little scripture, and it just explained a little bit what it meant and how it applied to our life. And I thought, man, this is really cool, to hear the Bible like this. I didn't know it could be like this at all. As he's sharing the scriptures for the very first time in my life, it's like kind of a pinnacle time. I'm realizing that what he's saying is true of me. That we're all lost for a time, and the only way to be found is by giving our life to Jesus. And so it was kind of like, spending the majority of your life chasing something or searching for something and trying to find in all these various things, and then all of a sudden one guy kind of cracks open the Word, and it's found right smack there in the middle of a Bible page. And so it was like a magnet, because even though I had to go there because of the family rule, I remember the very next Sunday I woke up and I was like, man, I got to get back over there. And so I jumped into my little Datsun B210 that we called Betsy. You couldn't go faster than 55 miles an hour on the freeway, because she would start to veer to the left or to the right. And so I remember jumping in Betsy, man, and heading off to church that Sunday. And then the next Sunday came, and I just kept going back. I never stopped, but I didn't realize it over time. If you keep reading the Bible, like, the Bible's going to change your life and change it in a positive way. And so for me, that's when God really started to change my life. Yeah, so I find myself coming back every single week and finding a place that I belong, and that this person's elderly, this person's middle-aged, this person's young, and they're not perfect in any way, but it really starts to feel like a real family. And so I'm kind of returning back to where I need to be. Maybe it was that little glimpse early on in my childhood, that there is something bigger than me. That maybe everything in life had to go full circle to bring me to this surrender point in my life. And so moment by moment, I'm changing. My life is changing. I'm feeling, for the very first time, I'm experiencing peace. I don't feel like I have to be someone else. I don't feel like I have to wear a jacket, or I have to act this way or act this way, or hide my pain. I could just lay it all out and be who God created me to be. So the beauty of the church was that various churches were having these venues to bring in like young people like me. And these venues would have like punk bands, ska bands, reggae bands, hip hop. And so I found myself like going from venue to venue, and then starting to really connect with the music. And so one of the bands that really grabbed me at that time was the Orange County Supertones. And they had like brass and trombones and trumpets, and they were really quality, man. They were a quality band, but it wasn't just like music, blind music with no meaning. Every single song had substance, and it connected with me, man. And it was a beautiful thing. I went to so many shows back then, so many concerts, and I could tell you my life was changing big time. A moment that really changed me was I was at a gig, a concert, and they gave this elaborate set, man. It's like spot on. They sounded great, and then after they were done, the drummer, like not even like the lead singer, like the drummer came from behind his kit and came all the way up to the front, and he opened up his Bible, man, and he just started giving like a Bible study. Like he shared a little verse, and then he expounded on it, and then he gave like a gospel presentation. And I was like, whoa, I was like, you could be in a band and play music, and then you could like come out and like, share God with people. It's like, man, that's revolutionary. How can you do that? And so I remember during that time thinking, man, that's what I want to do. I want to play music. I want to talk about God. I want to teach the Bible. I want to reach people right where they're at. I want to connect with the audience, and I want to share love and share hope, the hope that comes from a relationship with Jesus Christ. My Uncle Charles, he gave me this nylon guitar. It was like a mariachi type guitar, and he's like, "Here, Neil, take this." And I remember just being determined to learn whatever I could on that guitar. And then my buddy was like, he'd teach me a chord, and I go home and master it. And he'd teach me something else, and I master it. And then like the praise and worship band at church, they needed a keyboard player, and I had also been dabbling on the keyboard also, like a little small, like I don't know, it was like a Casio or something, man. And apparently I was just jamming on it, and next thing I know, I was like in the church band. And then I took some piano lessons from a lady at church, and it was like everything was just coming back, like just, I don't know, man. I was grabbing this, playing that, and singing and writing music. It was like a gift from God, because not everyone could sing, not everyone could play. What's interesting with me is I can never go back and say, oh, I worked so hard at my, I worked for this and I did this. No, actually, I didn't do anything. I just surrendered my life to God, and like God just poured his gifts out on my life. He just, boom, gave me all kinds of stuff. And then whatever he gave me, I just tried to be a good steward with it, and just tried to do the best I could with what he gave me. And it just kept giving me more and more. It's even like that today. God keeps giving me, and then I just give it back to him and glorify God with it, use it for his kingdom. Yeah, so my cousin Aldog, he walked in on me playing my piano, and he just couldn't believe how quick I was learning. And it was just like, it was a miracle. God was blessing the gift, and then he was also allowing others to witness that. So that was kind of cool for them to see that as well.
That was my escape.